adventurers, we have made it to Seattle, and they, in true fashion, decided to roll out the rain carpet for us. So I don't know exactly what we're going to be able to get into today. I had some activities planned, most of which involved being outside. So we're going to kind of play it by ear and start off at a museum. I think that's a great way for us to kick off our wonderful Washington adventure here. And yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens with the rain. Okay, adventurers, we have made it to downtown in the worst traffic ever. The rain did stop though, so we are about to go into our first exciting location while in Seattle. It's the Museum of Pop Culture, and I'm really excited. This building itself is pretty amazing. Hey guys, it's Future Me. Just so you know, if you can't hear the words on this video for any reason, it's because there is so much copywritten music in the background. There's nothing I could do about that. Okay, we have made it in. We have our ticket that we wear all the time that we're in here, and we're in the only exhibit in the downstairs area. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. We're just kind of gonna go and explore as we feel fit. This is gonna be really fun, guys. As you come into this first room, there's all of these little circles, and they each have people on them. And this big circle right here actually plays pieces from each one of these people, so it rotates. This is actually the Steven Spielberg exhibit in this room, but it has the official leather jacket that was worn by Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones. I mean, how much more iconic can you get? Collection of fiction, sci-fi, fantasy is so amazing. Even though this is a small exhibit, there are so many interesting pieces. There's a few interactive exhibits like this table right here. You can go and find anyone who was on this wall, and it tells more in-depth information about them. Guys, here is our map, so let's see what we have to do. There's so many things. Where are my Seahawks friends at? If you are familiar with the Seattle music scene, this image right behind me is iconic. And if you're not, you should be. Grunge came from here. And that was a pivotal moment in music. So, yeah. Looks a little weird from this angle, but really cool. Speaking of the Seattle music scene, we're gonna go in here in just a minute. But first, another iconic person, Prince. Keep in mind, Prince was not a big person. He was a little bit shorter than me, actually. And this was one of his guitars. It's so tiny, but so iconic. Actually created a special Pantone color for Prince. That's insane. Never cared what anybody thought about how he looked, what he wore, what he sang about. He expressed himself uniquely, and we could all take something from that. This is cool. It says that throughout the gallery are tons of different pieces from fans, like this one. That's just really awesome. It says that he inspired a lot of different creative artists, and that's why they wanted to feature a lot of their art here in his exhibit. So this is really interesting, and there's some other things that are made of glass that are really, really cool. It's worth coming out to see, if nothing else, just to see the unique, original pieces you can't find anywhere else. fitting that we're going into the guitar gallery after seeing this. What? It's a lot of guitars. So the guitar gallery, here we go. Room is literally a who's who of famous guitars. So we can find every single person we've probably ever enjoyed listening to. So let's go around the room and see some of the highlights. Let's start with Eric Clapton, guys. Wow. Then there's Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters, but also a former drummer for Nirvana. Look at this one, guys. Muddy Waters. Oh my goodness. Wow. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I love that each one of these tells a unique story in their bio below. So down here you can read the entire story, which is pretty cool. I am obsessed with this guitar, and now you can see why. Back here you can listen to some of your favorites. I just listen to Slash. I love Slash. Time to move on, guys. I think now is the time we go see Nirvana. This is one of the original contracts. That's awesome. There's also some really cool pages from Kurt's diaries and then also from his lyrics that he wrote. Happen to be a Nirvana fan, this is a must-see. Elton John, just casually in the middle. Next up, none other than Jimi Hendrix. There's also a memorial for him as well in Seattle. There's just so much talent that came out of this area. Sound off artists. Like games, there's stuff here for us. Let's go in and get our hands on some games. There are so many different kinds of games and consoles. I don't even know where to start. I'm a little overwhelmed. Where to go? Where to go? Oh wow. Look, so many options. I like this. It defines indie games as the freedom to make what you want. And that is so true. There are so many interesting concepts that come from indie games. This one looks fun. It has an interesting controller. Huh. Don't know what we're supposed to do. Let's read. Ooh. Okay, so the joystick controls us. And then our buttons. Oh, do different things. I just took photos. That character might be me. That's what I do as I travel. Interesting facts, guys. Look at this. Who plays games? Yep, that's probably about right. And look at this. This is astounding. 36 and up is 39%. So a bunch of adults are playing games. I don't disagree with that. Okay guys, that was really fun. We're moving back through the giant screen room where they're doing something different now. And we're moving into the South Gallery where there is sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and music. So many things. Let's just continue our music mission. AKA YouTube demonetizing our video. With some Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam. Like, so much. So, Pearl Jam, yeah. The legacy of Pearl Jam still goes on today. They're one of the few bands from the Seattle scene that is still out and about and doing the most. Love them, and we're probably not going to be able to talk very much because every time I talk there's music that is copywritten behind me, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like and squeeze in the details. Such a legacy. Look at all of these records and albums. I already knew I was gonna find the bunny. Hello, duh. One of the reasons I absolutely love this band. They have a lot of different causes that they really support and stand behind. If you'll recall the song Jeremy, I think that today people forget that song, yet it was about school shootings and violence, and it was a big deal. So it's not a surprise that in 2018 they did 2 sold-out shows, all for charity. That charity is to fight homelessness. This is some information about the homeless epidemic, and I'm going to share that with you a little bit more on my blog. As a traveling person, this is something super important. I see it in every city I go to, so this has a lot of meaning. Now, on that same note, I noticed that a lot of places in Washington state, and by a lot of places, I mean common places normally you could stay any place else in the country. Sam's Clubs, Walmarts, etc., etc. Do not allow you to boondock. And there's reason for that. It's because the homeless population is so vast here. If you want a cause, there's one. From up here you can see it all, and it's really, really interesting. Now, I think that it's really fascinating that they created this exhibit to coincide with the first hometown tour Pearl Jam had in a very long time. As we go back downstairs, I think this is a good time to talk about some of the other things that we've seen that tie into these kind of exhibits. You'll recall when we were at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, we actually saw the grave of Chris Cornell, who was also a pivotal part of this movement of music. He was in several different bands and was a lasting legacy. In fact, Kurt Cobain from Nirvana, as well as Eddie Vedder, actually were very good friends with him, and his legacy lives on through his music. I went ahead and picked up a map because I really don't know where I'm going, and there's so much. Oh, here's fantasy. Let's go. Fantasy, we have many different aspects, and if you look at this, it gives us our basic guidelines for the things that we find when thinking about fantasy. First off, the barbarian. You remember Conan, right? Visited the Oz Museum, and then there's a Dorothy here as well. Also, another costume originally worn by Judy Garland in the movie. Shall we crawl? I think we shall. Maybe. It's so magical in here. And there's so many interesting things. Like this tree. Are you up for some epic artwork? Epic artwork, you say? Oh wow, this is epic. Fantasy was really interesting, and now we have a whole nother world to go explore. It's like never ending. Are you ready to be scared? To death? PG-13, beware. Great, this is how it starts. Good times. Great, there's literally bodies just dangling. Nope. What are usual suspects? This is from the 2007 filming of Halloween. Ooh, creepy. This is so not cool. Not cool, guys. Not cool. Nope. Which one are you the most afraid of? Just wondering. We have all of the scary ones here. Freddy, Candyman, Leatherface. We're all here. Telling a little bit more about them and why we should really, really fear them in our dreams. Or our realities. Ugh. Need 100 films to absolutely terrify you before you die? Right here, there's a list. A very inclusive list. I'm going to encourage you to go over to my blog to read this. Yeah, it'll be posted along this video so you can learn a little bit more about the creepy vampire stuff. Oh, and here, while we're thinking about it, totally just stepped inside for a photo. It talks to you. Just a warning. Yeah. Ooh. This has got to be the creepiest stained glass ever. Cool, guys, the original manuscript. So you can touch it, put these on, and it's going to tell you a little bit more about each one of these. Buffy! Van Helsing. much more sinister from outside. It looks like there's blood dripping down them. But what's inside the store? It looks kind of unsettling. Boy, oh boy, if you are a Walking Dead fan, will you like this room? Walking Dead, official heads, used in 3 episodes. Don't look in the eyes. Don't look into the eyes.
Guys, I told you not to look into the eyes. What were you thinking?
But wait, there's more than just Walking Dead that has zombies. This is every movie known to man that has a zombie. There's a lot. This is what it's like to be trapped in a room of zombies. No, thank you. No, I just feel like somebody's gonna act crazy in a minute. Oh. This entire wall is categorized by type of villain and key films that you need to watch to see those in their full gusto. Demon, for example. Description, origin, key films, and the years. Blair Witch. No! This is one of the gizmos. Guys, I loved this movie. We were just at Estes Park. The inspiration for this movie. It says touch the screen at our own risk. And now we go to the infinite worlds of science fiction. I wonder what's in here. And I also wonder if I have my car still in place, because this is taking way longer than I thought it would. Each one of these displays, you can see that there's a little bar above it, and it tells you which movie it's from, so you can kind of work your way through some of your favorites really easily. Need any number of space guns? They have so many different ones. This is really fun. This is about the robot designs and how that they created some of these and why. Look guys, up here is the kind that they are, and then there's some examples in here. You'll notice there's Bender. In here, these are humanoids. And look, C-3PO. Boxoid, R2-D2. Wally. I'm so happy they're coming out with a new movie, like with the original guys. Look guys, there we are, in our spaceship. This spaceship. This last guy we have seen in Roswell. Yep, same guy. Wow, there's a lot here. Woo, here we are. And we're going. There's where all those guitars go. Wow. This allows you to play whatever instrument you might be interested in, record, do mixes, have jam sessions. There are all these rooms back behind us, and literally every kind of possible opportunity. But finally, our adventure has come to a close. We have gone to everything. We've seen and played. We've touched, we've held, we've laughed, we've smiled, and we've had our little walk down memory lane of all of our Seattle bands. So, with that being said, it's time for us to get out of here. Shop is almost as awesome as the museum because it has all the memorabilia from all of the bands. Okay, we gotta get out of here. I'm about to start buying stuff and I don't have room for all this stuff that I want.
Keep in mind, I drive a tiny car.
Nope. So out of here we go. Even the outdoors here is cool. The sun came out, it feels wonderful. And it was definitely worth the cost. I will say this is one of the more expensive places that I have gone. Typical tickets are about $30 for adults, but if you get your ticket online before you go in, you save $2. And if you have a family, children's tickets are less expensive, obviously. Thanks guys for coming on my adventure. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for future uploads, and I'll see you next time. Please don't let me have a parking ticket. Please, 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 please. I didn't realize what time it was. I was in there an extra hour. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. No tickets.